Hey everyone, welcome back to the shop. So for the back to basic forging, we're going to be doing some tools in the next couple of videos. So one of them is going to be chisels and a center punch. So I'm going to take this short video to go over a little bit about mystery steel, how I get it and how I test steel. I don't know if it actually will be good to make tools out of. So if it actually can be hardened. So for this video, I want to try and do it as quickly as possible, so I'm not going to ramble on too much. But what I use a lot of is coil springs from cars and also pickup trucks. These ones actually came from a Volkswagen. But I use a lot of this for my chisels because it is easy to get. They're relatively cheap, and there's many times where I've got them for free. A great place to get them: go to your local mechanic, ask them. You know, say that you're starting off blacksmithing, you want to tool up a little bit, and you really can use some coil springs to help you out, so you can make chisels and punches with it. And most of the time, they'll actually let you go through their scrap pile and take whatever you want out of the coil springs. But always, you know, maybe offer them a center punch or a chisel when you do that, or even a hook or a key fob or whatever you can do in trade, just to give a good faith to them, sort of thing. So other places where you can find mystery steel: scrap yards. You know, you can get forklift tines, spring, leaf springs. That's basically where I stop. Now, there's other places you can get mystery steel, but basically what I mean by mystery steel is you have no idea what it is. So I'm going to show you two ways that I decide if the mystery steel is going to be actually worthy of making a tool out of. The first one is a spark test, and the second one is actually hardening it and seeing if it actually will take a harden, if it will actually harden. So I'm going to first quickly show you a spark test with, well, maybe this coil spring, I don't know, maybe a different coil spring, but something that I know already has a high carbon content. So I'm going to show you how the sparks look on that, as well as what mild steel looks like. And you'll notice a difference, and I'll do a side-by-side still shot of it, so you can actually see the difference. Basically, with a high carbon steel with a spark test, you'll notice a lot more flares coming off, and they'll also be closer together. Where with mild steel, you'll get still flares from the sparks, but there will be less flares and they will be farther away from your piece that you're actually grinding. So I'm going to take you over to my belt grinder. Now I know this is not a tool that I put in my list, but I think it's going to be the best way for me to actually show you the sparks. So I'm going to use it for this video just to demonstrate my sparks. Now you can do this with just a regular hand belt grinder, or even with a grinder, like an angle grinder with just a grinding wheel. You can also tell the sparks from that. So just because I'm using a belt grinder with it, you can use an angle grinder. And when I first started out, you know, I've been using angle grinder for over 10 years to check it. It's only been recent that I've got this belt grinder, but I know it's going to be a better picture with the belt grinder, so that's why I'm using it. So I'm going to do the spark test, and we'll go from there. Thanks. Okay, first I'm going to show you the high carbon steel, and then I'll show you mild steel, and hopefully you can see the difference in the flares and the sparks that I'm talking about. There is a good carbon amount in it because of the flares. We're going to try and actually harden a piece and break it off to make sure that it actually can harden, and if we're going to have to use oil or water for it. So I'm going to take a piece of the coil spring again, and we're going to heat it up. We're going to flatten it out so it's about maybe I would say down to a flat piece of 1/8 of an inch, and then we're going to try and harden it. Once it's fully hardened, we're going to, well, hopefully it's fully hardened, we're going to take it over the anvil and we're going to see if we can shear it off. Okay, so I brought it down to somewhere between a 1/16 of an inch to an 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so I just got a paint can here filled with vegetable oil. I don't know if I can show you the oil without spilling it all. So that's what I'm going to use for quenching first. I always start with oil because it's the most gentle on the steel when you're trying to harden it. So we'll try oil first. So we'll just see how our piece is doing and if it's that critical. So if you do go a little bit beyond where it's not magnetic, we'll just wait until it cools down a little bit, become magnetic again, and then we'll just put it in the forge for about 5 seconds, and then we'll go in for a quench. And then we're going to take it over to the edge of the anvil. And we're going to see if we're going to hit it and see if we can actually snap that end off. And if it snaps off like that, make sure you're wearing your safety glasses. If it snaps off, that means that this steel can harden in oil. So we know that it actually can harden, and that it would be in oil that we're going to be hardening this with. Now, if this just bent over and didn't actually snap off like that, then you can try doing it quench in water and see if that snaps off. Now if it doesn't snap off in water, it most likely won't be able to harden it and you won't be able to make tools for it. So I hope you guys got a little bit of information from this video.